Hi, welcome to Toys in the Hood. Today I'm going to take a look at the best Alien RPG books that aren't Alien RPG books. It seems that game companies, they kind of have two gears. They either produce books so quickly that you can't possibly keep up unless you devote your life to that only game. Looking at you, Warhammer 40,000. Or it seems that they just don't produce them anywhere quickly enough. And unfortunately, Free League's Alien roleplay game definitely falls into the latter camp. I think they do a release every year, which is good and the quality is great, but I want my Alien fix and I want more than that. So what I've done is I've looked at some 5 different books that are aliens and will help you fill that alien-sized hole in your Alien RPG chest. So first up, I've got the Alien, the Colonial Marines Technical Manual. This was obviously before Free League's Alien Colonial Marines Operations Manual. This actually came back in 1995, this came out, so it predates Alien Resurrection. It's not as heavily illustrated as the other books. It's largely black and white images, and they're fairly simple artwork throughout the whole book, but I think that kind of gives it its charm. I mean, what it is a technical guide for Colonial Marines for fighting aliens, fighting other aliens, and it's got details of all of the equipment and things they might use. It includes some pictures of ghillie suits, some things like that, and it's a really nice background book. As I say, on the one side it feels a bit dated, but on the other side, I think if you were to actually give this to your players as a handout, then you wouldn't be spoiling too much. It would be quite a nice prop to have in the game. So next up, we've got David's Drawings. This is a slipcase. There's 2 books inside. There's the thick book that are the drawings itself, and then there's a little slip book that's an interview with the artists who made the images that are in the book. What this is a series of sketches David has in his study in Alien Covenant, and these guys, they made all of the sketches, and as you go through them, and I think it works in a film as you kind of go further into his lair, and as the film progresses, you start to see these images get a lot darker, and it's the same as you read through the book. To begin with, it's just kind of illustrations of fauna. As you go through, you start seeing more kind of alien, you see more experiments going on, until in the end you find out the fate of Elizabeth Shaw, which you know in the film, but you actually see it via the notes. So it's a cracking book. It's probably not as good as a resource material as the other books in this are, but if you were to hand it to your players as a handout, you could probably build a whole series of adventures around this as a prop. It's absolutely beautiful. I really, really love it. And then we've got the Alien Augmented Survival Manual. So it's probably my least favourite of the 5 books that I'm looking at today. The great thing about it was really cheap. I think I paid like £5 for mine. It's very similar to the Colonial Marines Technical Manual. It's about fighting aliens, but it has its kind of selling point is this augmented reality that it's got. And what you do is you download an app on your phone, and then you look at pictures of certain pages and it projects them in 3D. And I have to say, when I first got this book, I kind of looked at it and I kind of cast it aside. And then I was essentially trying to find my 5th book for this series, and pulled it out. And I've been playing with it at lunchtime, and it's brilliant fun actually. As you can create like the face hugger, you can have a look around that. But there's also little games they do. There's one where it's a motion tracker, and you see the motion tracker on your phone and it's tracking, and you can't see, and then you look up and the alien is on the ceiling looking down at you. It's really good fun. I'm not sure it's going to be essential for the Alien roleplay game, but if you get it for £5, get it for a tenner, I think you could do a lot worse. So then we have the Wayland Yutani Bulletin. So this is basically a technical report written by Wayland Yutani, is the idea of this. It's a really, really cracking piece of kit for the roleplay game because it's full of handouts. There's a report from Joan Lambert on breaking quarantine and allowing Kane to the Nostromo. There's a medical report on a facehugger victim, I think from LV426. There's a copy of, or an excerpt from Space Beast, which I can't remember the chap's name, but on Fury 161, is it the planet in Alien 3? He's the one survivor, and he goes and he writes a book, and that's the history of kind of space beast, and it's like this, you know, picked up by cults and things. There's a little excerpt in there that you can use, and those props are removable. The rest of the article, it kind of talks about the history of Alien, capturing aliens. It talks about all of the films. It does actually go as far as Alien Resurrection, which is one of the bits that's a little odd, because I believe by the time of Alien Resurrection, the corporations have actually been disbanded. And in fact, I think the timeline in the book tells you that the corporations have been disbanded. So I'm not entirely sure how the corporation then managed to commission a report about aliens. But there's some really cool stuff in there. And at the end, it talks about a few bits of technology that kind of uses and why the aliens are important to Wayland Yutani. I think if you ever need motivation for your corpse, this really could be it. There's a lot of good information and stuff in there. It's a really pretty book. If you can bring yourself to take the handouts out, you know, the excerpts out, then you could give those as handouts to players, and I think you would have a fantastic game. Probably build an adventure around each of those. Now, my final book, Alien: The Blueprints. This book is huge, and it's beautiful, and it's almost like a dungeon book for the Alien roleplay game. It's got blueprints for all of the ships in the films. It's also got vehicles. It's got the blueprints for all of those, and then it's got the blueprints for both Hadley's Hope and the Florina 161 Correctional Facility from Alien 3. So it's a book of dungeons for Alien roleplay game. Yeah, it's a beautiful book. It's a cracking resource, and of these 5, I think it just feels like it's already an Alien roleplay game supplement. So thank you. That was my whistle-stop tour of 5 books that I think make fantastic Alien roleplay game source books, even though they're not Alien roleplay game source books. Please check them out. Check out my other Aliens videos. I've got a few Warhammer 40,000 videos up now, if that's your thing as well. Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.